Is a STR. A STR is a short tandem repeat.
When and who developed the STR technique? STRs were identified in eukaryotic DNA at the beginning of the 1970s. There isn't a specific individual credited developing STRs, but the Forensic Science Service in the UK played a key role in their introduction and application in forensic casework.
So, the first time STRs were accepted in court. So the first time short tandem repeats, also known as STRs, were accepted in court as forensic evidence was in the mid to late 1990s. While DNA evidence in general has been used since the late 1980s, STR analysis became prominent and accepted starting around 1996 in the United States. STRs gained rapid traction because they required less DNA, were more accurate, and worked better with degraded samples compared to earlier methods.
Okay, first time it was accepted in court, part 2. One of the first major cases to admit STR evidence was the People versus Nicholas, 1997. California courts accepted STR-based DNA evidence, setting a precedent for its admissibility. By 1999, STRs were officially adopted by the FBI as part of the CODIS, which stands for Combined DNA Index System, national database standard, cementing their role in forensic science and courtrooms nationwide.
The steps of a process for STRs is first, you have amplification, which is creating copies of specific DNA target regions from the original sample. The second step is electrophoresis, which is DNA fragments that result from the amplification and then are separated and detected. And the third step is interpretation, which you observe the occurrence of electropherogram peaks for the loci that are amplified. In this diagram to the right, it shows an STR analysis. So the first thing we have is an allele 1 and allele 2. In allele 1, there is 4 STRs, and in allele 2, there is 8 STRs. So those two alleles are brought down and looked at in an electrophoresis graph, which shows the results from DNA fragments. And after that, it is displayed to be seen and observed.
When are STRs used? Today, STR analysis, a type of DNA profiling, is widely used in forensic science to establish DNA profiles, used for paternity testing, link individuals to crime scenes, identify human remains, confirm familial relationships, and to study ancient human migration patterns.
Why would STR be used? Today, STRs are used because they are highly valuable DNA regions that are easily amplified and analyzed, allowing for individual identification.
These are the requirements to make an individual match for STRs. Allele matching is the process involving comparing the alleles at multiple STR loci between the sample from a crime scene and the sample from a suspect.
Requirements to make an individual match, part 2. To achieve an individual match using STR analysis, a high degree of allele matching across multiple STR loci is required, with the probability of a random match at being extremely low. Loci analysis are regions of DNA that contain repeating sequences to create a unique profile for each individual.
So this is 3 examples of STRs. The first man starts off with GTA, CTA, GA, and then the STR starts whenever CTA gets repeated 5 different times. And then in man 2, it starts off the same, but then it repeats 6 times. And same with man 3, except it repeats 7 times.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation on short tandem repeats. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot.
Thank you.